Howdy all, Moglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little Better Than Wolves. Alright. Let's see. Do I got food? I got food. I've got a new pick. So let's head back into the Nether to see if we can find a new land today. Maybe something a little less, trying to kill me there. Something a little less watery than last time, or less jungly. I definitely don't want to be putting up in no jungle. So much jungle in this map. It's weird to me how prevalent biomes are in different seeds. Oop, this is the wrong way. Because my regular Minecraft map is, like I said, all covered forest, right? It's all dark oak trees and giant mushrooms. Occasional little spots of plains, but not really. And man, this one is like forest after forest with jungles in between. It feels like. Nobody wants to put up with all that. With their stupid little poisonous spiders. Yeah, so hopefully, like I said, might try to go a little further between places today. I know I've been... Is this where I go over and dig up? Yeah. Should probably just break that out. And put in... a walkway here instead of jumping up and down. Save on at least a little bit of my foods. I really feel like I should have made it further than I have. Distance-wise, I like like I built that first portal, right? And it dumped me in the desert where I'd already been. And then the next two were caves, and then the third one, oh no, there was a jungle in there too, right? So it was a place I'd already been, and then I think it was jungle next, and then 2 underwater caves, and then so far out in the ocean there's no cave. There's my jungle temple I wanted to look at. Not today though. I don't want to go digging that jungle temple. I don't want to mess with the jungle at all, to be honest. I definitely will need more cobblestone, because there is no way that I am going to travel through the jungle when I can just, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be cobblestone, but I definitely want to bring lots of blocks that fall so that I can make a path over to the temple and walls on either side of said path that will keep spiders out. Because I in no way want spiders jumping on my head. Okay, so that one. I mean, it's a long way down here. I'm gonna run it. It's just okay. And then I touch the wall and stop running. I did stop and check on the chicken. It was still a chick. I'm waiting kind of for it to grow up so that I can test to make sure that the water levels and pit levels are correct to push a chicken all the way down through there, because it is a mildly convoluted system and you can't, trust the chickens. For sure, for sure. I just want to build a new one and look. I'm not ready though. Just keep digging. It should be like 8 blocks for every block in here. So if I dig like 100 blocks, right? That's like 800 blocks. So I guess I need to dig like 100 blocks. Whoa. I don't know what just happened there. That was weird. That popped back in. I'm not playing on a server, so it shouldn't have done that. Or it just didn't dig out like I thought it had. Getting a little too close here. Problem is that I move faster than I dig, I think. And I'd prefer not to be standing next to it if I hit lava. Alright, we gotta be just about far enough here to try again. Okay. Oh, yep, gotta do this, and then we build the... Oh, no! Dang it. Takes too long to dig out, man, to be bothered with that. Did I get it? Yeah, it looks like it. 3 high, 2 over, 3 down. We build a little fire thingy. And well, there's land. It's the tiniest amount of land ever. And if this doesn't hurry, I'm going to get eaten by squids. Dang it. I was really hoping that would be the moment. The moment to find a new continent. I mean, I did find a new island, yeah. It's a teeny tiny little island. Now with a unlit portal over top of it. Ugh, I wish there was an easier way to get this stuff. It takes so long to dig up obsidian. Yep, getting a little recording session in before dinner tonight, actually. Pretty rare that happens. I'm managed to get done with work. I mean, let's be honest here. We're talking like right before dinner. Like they could have called dinner already. Uh, well, I think dinner is kind of a eat it when you're ready kind of thing tonight. I believe we're having chili. It's summer, so let's have chili, right? I'm not complaining, I guess. I love chili. It's fine with me. I didn't have to be up there when I was cooking. Uh, Although, since I don't see the other vehicle outside, I can only assume that dinner's on the stove. Oh, and nobody's here to actually say that it's their time. It's today, Tuesday. I don't know what they're doing. Might be baseball practice. It cracked me up. So, I haven't gone to get the mail, right? Because I fell and hurt my knee, and I could probably get the mail, but I also don't want to walk that far just in case. Um, I mean, it seems like it'd be okay, but it also hurts a bit. And there's no like grinding or anything. It doesn't hurt to stand on it, but the skin, it feels like I've skinned my entire leg. And it's pretty swollen and bruised. I fell in a hole, and so my leg bashed into the ground in multiple places. And so, anyways, I haven't been getting the mail, and so I believe it was yesterday. I went to ask my nephew to go get the mail, and he says to me, "I don't have time to get the mail. I have baseball at 5." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It is 3:50. I don't think it's gonna take you an hour to go get the mail." But I have to go to baseball at 5. Okay, well, go get the mail now. And then you won't have to worry about it later. Like, what do you mean I have baseball at 5? That's like an hour away. I don't think they even left until like 20 after 5, anyways. Hmm. Digging, digging. I'm too close again. I can feel it. Lava's gonna spill out and get me. Oop. We have reached a cave. Bum, bum, bum. I feel like a cave is probably a good spot to try again. Okay, don't get too twisted around here. I want to see. Got anything good in this cave? I mean, there's only like 2 things in the nether, right? Glowstone and quartz. So I don't see any of that. But let's try. Let's try another little guy here. Okay, one of these tries, and I'll actually dig out something I need to dig out. Oh, I did need to dig that out. What do you know? Okay. Maybe this will be the one. And no, we're still okay. Why are we up so high? I guess nothing will get me from here. Did I go past land? Like, I see some islands, obviously. To the whatever direction that is. Where's the sun? The sun is there. And the sun is... So that's east. So this is south. So there's islands to my south? But we're not to actual land yet. Man. I was really, really hoping that was going to be the moment. I mean, I was hoping that last time, too. I just, this obsidian takes too long to dig up. I'd prefer not to. We'll get this all dug back out and get back on my way. Man, so I was looking at installing a game today that I wanted to play. I'm gonna try out Death Stranding. I was excited for it when I first saw the trailers for it, and then when I heard about what the game was about, it didn't sound fun to me. And then I just watched a thing on it a couple of weeks ago, and it sounded more interesting to me than the initial reviews of it were, and so I wanted to try it out. And so it was on sale. I probably could have waited till it was on a bigger sale, but so I bought it today, and it's not a massive game, but it's a pretty big game, so I don't have enough room on my game hard drive for it. And so I was uninstalling things so that I could install it. It's like 60 some gigabytes, right? Which is pretty big, but it's definitely not the biggest game I have installed. And I only had like 36 gigabytes free, so I gotta clean off like 65 gigabytes or whatever for Death Stranding. And so I'm scrolling down through games, and I'm like, all right, I'll leave that one on, I'll take that one off, right? This is something I play, this is something I might play, that kind of stuff. And I get all the way down to the bottom, and I'm like, what? What? Why do I have this game installed? Like, I know I was gonna play through it, and then I didn't, but I was playing through the first one first, and that's Witcher 2 is installed. And I'm like, this makes no sense, because I know my plan was to play through all 3 Witcher games, because I've never played Witcher 3. I've never played Witcher 3. I've never finished Witcher 2. I can't sit down and do it for some reason. And I really like Witcher 1. I really liked when I played a Witcher 2. I just can't do it for some reason. And so I know I had Witcher 1 installed a while ago, like maybe not this year, but last year. And I was playing through it, but I don't remember finishing it. I definitely did not, pretty sure, get to the point where I finished it. I made it past the I was in the swamp, which I believe is a pretty good chunk in. Like I did the swamp, I did the little village that you start at. Basically, I did the attack on the castle. Um, my vague recollection of Witcher, the storyline, is that there's some time travel involved, and so I definitely hadn't made it to the point where that was mentioned. So I don't think I was at the end of the game. I'm pretty sure I left off when you get sent to prison, and then you have to go through the sewers to get your stuff back. I remember doing that. I remember being in the swamp. Um, so I left off somewhere in there, and then something other game came along, and I had to uninstall it because I needed the room on my hard drive to play the new thing, right? Because that's what I do. And so I'm like, why is The Witcher 2 installed? Like, when did I install that if I didn't finish Witcher 1 replay through? And I look at it, and I have not opened Witcher 2 since 2012. Like, that has been installed on my hard drive since 2012. That's crazy. I mean, it's 2021. That's 9 years. That's older than my niece. That's almost as old as my nephew. It has been installed on my hard drive a long time. All right, my pick is getting pretty far into the red here, so we'll try one more here and then we'll head home if this does not result in someplace I want to search. Oh, nice. Although it might be nighttime and then I won't be able to search it anyways. And no. Still no land. What the heck? How is there just no land here? That's crazy. I have traveled so far. That's insane. But yeah, so I opened up Witcher 2, just its launcher, and to bump it back to the top of my list so that I know it's installed in case I decide I want to play it again. Uh, I So here's the thing: is I grew up on RPGs that were uh, heavily story driven for the most part, and I'm not saying these games aren't story driven, but um, like let me rephrase that. I grew up on RPGs that were progression driven. Let's put it that way. They might not have all had the greatest storylines. Like the original Final Fantasy, right, has a storyline, but there's not really like necessarily cutscenes or dialogue, right, that tells a story. You basically just fight your way through the story, and you see what happens, but you might not necessarily get a lot of background information on what happens, right? So a lot of games now have got cutscenes, and new Final Fantasy games are just insane with the hours of cutscenes that are in the games. Not that it's a bad thing. I love the cutscenes in a good Final Fantasy game. Um, it's crazy to me how many cutscenes are in the Final Fantasy 14 MMO that we're playing as a group through. Um, it's just like it's hilarious. You'll get to a point and it'll be like, so there's a series of cutscenes now, and it will take at least 25 or 45 minutes to get through these cutscenes. So before you proceed, please make sure you have enough time so that you don't miss anything. Like those warnings come up, and but it's telling a really good story. I even was like, oh, I can't believe that happened. At one point, not all of the stories in Final Fantasy 14 are great, and they do this weird thing where there's weird side stories that you have to do to progress the main story that have nothing to do with the main story, and which is fine, whatever. But anyways, like the original Final Fantasy, right? In you start in the first town, and you talk to the king, and the king is like, "My daughter's missing. Go rescue my daughter." And so you go and you fight around the town, and there's nobody really tells you where to go. You eventually find the castle. You go in the castle. It's ruins. You work your way through the ruins. You find the guy who's got the princess. You fight him. You kill him, and then you rescue the daughter. And then they build a bridge, right? And so then that unlocks the next section of the game. And so then you go there and you fight your way through the game. And uh, I think there's Matoya's Cave is in there. You go into this town. You got to find your way to the next town. Especially in Final Fantasy, the original one, you could only save at ends, and so you had to make it to the next town to be able to save. I think the newer versions let you save anywhere in the overworld, but the original Final Fantasy that I played only saved at ends. In fact, it might not have saved at all. It might have only. No, I'm pretty sure it saved every time you slept at an inn. And so I was going to say it might have only saved when you shut down the game at an inn, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. Or you do something like Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest had a storyline, right, that led you through. The progression from area to area, but everything was focused on the quest pretty much. And so the first Witcher is like that, right? You start in an area, there's a lot going on in that area, you fight your way through the area, and then that unlocks the next area for you to go to, kind of thing. Now, I'm not saying it's better or worse than the open world that everything wants to be now. But I do feel like the story driven part of progressive storylines gets a little lost in the open world mission systems that everything adopted for a while. Um, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Shoot, I don't know if I can protect myself here. Well, that'll be fun to fight when I come back. But yeah, so Witcher 2 um, started pretty strong, but then it got to a part in the middle where it was just all these little missions around the towns, and I think there's just too many missions, and not enough of it's like they need to storyline that stuff to keep my attention, I guess. And Fallout 4 suffered from that really bad for me too. Fallout 4 had this thing where when you're walking around the world, you've got your mini map, and your mini map would update with um, new locations. And so I just went around the world finding new locations, because every little place you went to was a new bunch of little unrelated stories. And I didn't care so much about the stories, I guess, because they weren't really necessarily related to what's going on. And so I feel like that's a thing that's been lost in these open worlds, mini mission type RPGs, is that you don't have a nice big gripping story that you're trying to get through. Um, I don't know. I'm not saying there shouldn't be side quests. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying there shouldn't be missions. I don't enjoy games like Monster Hunter because it doesn't feel like there's a point to it, to me. I'm not saying they shouldn't make Monster Hunter. I'm just, commenting that from my point of view, I don't care for Monster Hunter because it's too open world. It's by far the most pointless and open worldliest. There we go. Open worldliest uh, of games I can think of that I've played, and I really like a good storyline. And they just not a lot of storyline going on in games when they get to open world, and I felt like Witcher 2, from what I remember, because I haven't played it since 2012. Um, was that it started off with a pretty strong storyline, and then I hit this town in the middle, and then it was just all about these mini missions that didn't feel like they were related to anything. Oh, he's still not grown up. Chicken, I need you to be a grown up so I can feed you to the machine to see what happens, you know? All right, well, with that, I am going to call it a day. So beware of the small things, lean to the light, and I will talk to you later.